I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.
Hello and welcome. Coach Phil here for another episode of the Business Renovator. In keeping with the theme that we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks is getting near the end of the year, I wanted to go and talk about stop and reassess. But before I jump into that topic and do a deeper dive, here's a word from my sponsor. If you have a question for a business coach, guess what? I am one, and I'm one of a couple of hundred around the globe. If I don't have the answer, I can certainly find somebody that could address your topic. Could be around time, could be around team, money, futures/exit strategies. Happy to have that conversation and answer a question for you. And again, if I can't answer it, I'll introduce you to somebody who could. Also, if you're watching this after the fact, hashtag replay, let us know where you're watching us from. I'd like to know that. And if somebody comes to mind that you want to get their message, their story out to the world, let me know. Let's get them on the airwaves. Now, let's talk about today. Stop, reassess, reset, get going. It's often that many of us go through life really quick. Actually, Dr. Bandura says we go through life too quickly, take our successes way too lightly, and don't take time to sanction what we've done. So because it's getting near the end of the year, I thought it'd be a great time to stop and reflect on what we want to continue doing, what we want to stop doing, and reset and move forward. So we're going to do that today. It's a great way to start talking about Dr. Bandura. He's the doctor or psychologist that made the efficacy an important part of the process of increasing self-esteem and changing our self-image so that we can get more stuff done. And a simple way to do that is to list all of your successes from the time you were born to where you are today. Create a list of at least 100 successes. Big, small, recall them all. It really doesn't matter. It's a really powerful process to do that. And if you haven't done it, I encourage you to do it. And if you are doing it, good on you and keep on doing it. Because, I always refer to mine as the 100 success list, but there's well over, there's several hundred successes on there. And I'm probably missing a few of my own. But the fact that it's such a powerful thing to do is don't beat yourself up if you don't capture them all, but high five yourself because you're actually doing the process. The other magic part of the 100 success list is once you've created the 100 success, go back and reflect and pull off your top 10 and make a smaller list that you can keep on your phone, on a 3x5 card, post it on a wall, wherever, so that you see it on a regular basis, because it'll help you take what's seemingly extraordinary and turn it into your new ordinary second nature, just like you. Okay, moving right along. Another thing that's an important thing to do at this time of the year, and any time of the year, but right now, if you're planning for the future, now's a great time to decide, what does your story look like? You get to write it, you get to create it. You are the Stephen King of your own life. It's a fantasy that you're going to write. And you've got all the resources, all the imagination, absolutely everything you need to have in place to make it happen. That's money, time, people. It's a fantasy. Anything's possible. That's where we start. It's where a good Stephen King novel started, in his imagination. So start yours there as well and borrow from your 100 success list. Next step is, I identifying what you really, really want. Because if you really, really want something, you're more likely to go after it and do the things that are uncomfortable until they start to be comfortable. If I can recall from Leland Val Vanderwall, he says, we only have to do what we don't want to do until we don't have to do it anymore. Ponder that as you think about what you want to do, create, and make happen in 2022 and beyond. And remember that when you're writing the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold your pen. I thought that's just magical. Okay, so here we are. What are you going to stop doing? Now you've been looking at your 100 success list, and I'm pretty sure that in most people's lives, the things that they wish they hadn't done, wasted time, ate too much, worked out too much, or didn't work out too often enough, whatever it might be. What are the things that you would be better off to stop doing? The 80-20 rule suggests that 80% of our successes in life, not just money, but successes, relationships, customers, all those sort of things comes from the 20% of the time and effort we put into it. And a lot of people spend 80% of their time doing things, which means that they're only accomplishing 20%. So what I would encourage you all to do is to focus on the 20% that give you the highest value, return on your energy and your money, the 80-20 rule. Originally it came from an Italian, Alfredo Pareto, and apparently he had done an inventory of all the land in Italy. And it turned out that 80% of all of the land was owned by 20% of the Italians. So that rule has lived on for centuries, and it's still applicable today, just like gravity. Gravity still works today. Anyway, let's move on to where are you today? Where are you starting from? Now that you've made a list of things that you're going to stop doing, what are you going to start doing? And it's a straight road to where you want to get to. Well, not really, but that's the image of this. It's a great starting point. Reality is our successes are kind of like a winding road and seem to be going all over the place. And we just wonder why the hell isn't a straight line to get from where we are today and where we ideally like to be. The reality is it's not quite a straight road. Here's a tool that I've learned from Brian Tracy. It's called diamond mapping. And diamond mapping is a great way to segment your life to help you identify in the 4 key areas: health and fitness, relationships, career, and finance, where you're at right now today, and where would you like to be in the end of 2022 or beyond. And then make 3 to 5 goals in each one of those areas as a starting point. And we're going to talk about goals here in just a sec. If you choose not to set goals, you have a fuzzy image of what it is you're trying to do or who you're trying to be. By setting goals, you're making a commitment and you're starting to get more clarity around it. And in that clarity becomes the creative juices and intuitive thoughts, and the hunches will start to show up. So in the diamond map, what we ask you to do is to identify where you are right now in your current reality. Make an X on each one of the lines that are represented there from 0 to 10. Where are you today? And there's no right or wrong, and nobody's going to mark this except for you, because it's you that this is all about. So now that you've got the marks on each one of the axes, join them and see what your diamond looks like. Okay, that's a starting point. Now, the next part, where would you like to be in 2022 and beyond? Now make a mark on each one of the axes there. And it's kind of rinse and repeat. Join those points and see the difference between where you're at right now today and where you'd like to be in the future. It's in that gap where the magic is. That's why having goals is such an important part of the success formula. It turns on the creative juices for you to go do the things, read the books, talk to people, write a letter, whatever activity it is to help move you towards where you're trying to get to. It's such a powerful yet simple thing to do. So here's something that I'm pretty excited about. In addition to the diamond mapping, set your goals with 3 horizons: good, great, and wow. So good is something that you know you can do, and it's probably got a 10 to 20% increase of what you did the previous year, previous quarter, whatever the period of time you're comparing your current reality versus ideal future. Great would be a stretch goal that would be beyond obviously the good. And the wow is holy crap, how the hell am I ever going to do that kind of goal? But if I did it, wouldn't that be amazing? That's the wow goal. Now, the secret to this is to make sure that you give yourself a reward for each one of the horizons, the lines you cross over at the good, great, wow. When you've accomplished them and you've got the reward nailed down, or not the reward, but the goal nailed down, then you get to nail down the reward and do it. And do the reward. It's a really important piece. If you forget to do it or think, well, I made the goal, so that's good enough, I'm happy with that, don't do that to yourself. Make sure that you give yourself the reward, whether that be a massage, depending on the scope of your goal and what the reward should be, you get to decide. But whatever it is, give it to yourself. When I first introduced this to myself, I started off with, I was selling real estate, new homes for a new home builder. And I was actually selling condominium townhomes. And I decided that, 2 or 3 townhomes a month was not a bad thing to do. Everybody was happy with the results, but I wanted to see if I could stretch myself. So I came across this good, great, wow method, and I did that. And the first month that I tried it, I reached all of them, and they were lofty goals. One of the wow was like, what was it? I know what the commission was, but I want to talk about the money. I want to talk about the units. So a good was 3 units because I've done that before. Great was 5, and wow was 10. And that month I got them all. So I got all the rewards. It was fantastic. I'd never had a silk tie before in the days when I used to wear ties all the time, and a suit and a shirt and all those kind of things. I bought a silk tie. And I was also wanted a leather attaché case because I never had a leather one. And I also wanted a cross pen. I got all 3. It was amazing. It's such a powerful thing to do. Don't not give yourself the reward. Okay, enough on that. The idea behind good, great, wow, though, is the horizon. That as we're moving towards the goal, when we're driving or flying or something, we're traveling, the horizon changes as we go a little bit further. We see a little bit more. So it creates the creative tension. It keeps it in place for us to be able to carry on to our next horizon instead of flattening out as we get closer to a goal. Or if we meet the good goal, we flatten out. I remember one time when I was working for a high-tech company and I'd reached my quota and my budget and all that stuff just shortly after the first quarter. Well, I didn't have anything else set as goals to do. My management didn't put any pressure on me to do anything else because I met and exceeded my goal at the time. I still had like another 8 months left. I could have done a lot more, but I didn't. I flattened out. I didn't realize about the good, great, wow at the time. I hadn't implemented it for this particular situation. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So moving along, thinking about the areas of your life where you would like to set goals, where you aspire to be, is just a really cool image. I thought it has a few words in there that make sense to me. So it's around things of happiness and vision and creativity and inspiration. What are the things that help you in that? Innovate, help you focus. How do you develop teamwork? You can put in your own words and dreams in there. I just threw this up as a reminder to make sure it's colorful, full of life, and bright as in terms of your goal. Now, here's something you're probably familiar with to a certain degree. You've probably heard of SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and has a timeline. Well, notice mine's different than that. There's some similarities like specific, measurable, but aligned. Aligned with what? Great question. Aligned with your core values. Because see, if you go after something that's really not aligned with who you are, it's going to be difficult to do the things that you must do to achieve the goal, particularly if it's a stretch goal. So does it resonate with you? Does it vibrate with you? And is it aligned with your core values? Those are important things. Timeline. Timeline's an important thing because it creates attention to get there. Now, if you miss the timeline, don't quite get your number by the time that you had in mind, you can just move the timeline out a little bit. But don't allow that to be an excuse not to put a little bit of pressure, a good pressure, use stress, pressure on yourself. Don't make it as an excuse. Well, I got more time, because we don't have a ton of time. And then the last two, E and R, there's R is rewards again. It's an important aspect of reaching your goals. And the other one is enthusiasm. And if you're enthusiastic about your goals, you're more likely going to achieve them. And the reason being is if you look at the last four letters of enthusiasm, they are I, A, S, and M, which stands for I am soul myself. Whether it's a product or a service or an idea, or if you have a mission to move people to climb a mountain or any other dream that you have, if you're not enthusiastic about it, if you're not committed, if you're not sold on it, why the hell would anybody else want to follow you? So enthusiasm is an important part of goal setting, and taking it from smart to smarter. Just a tip I wanted to share before the end of the year. Another way to add emotion and energy to your goals is to have images of the places, the things, the people, the experiences that you want to have. These are just samples of other people's that I've borrowed to put up here to give you some insight and some ideas of what you might be able to do for yourself. Look at this. Somebody had said, I say no. And did you know no is a complete sentence? Often what gets in the way of a lot of people is they have they don't have the capacity to say no. They say yes to everything, and they fail to do it. And it's not very powerful. It's not a very empowering for you or the people that you're having promises that are broken to. So if you're over promising, give yourself permission to say no as you move towards what's important for you and your goals. And it takes a plan. You do need to know some of the hows as to what you're going to do and how you're going to get there. Just don't let that be at the early stages of your goal setting. Dare to dream. Don't worry about the how. Know that the how is going to show up as you get clarity and specificity to where you want to be in your life. But you do need to have a plan, and you can't just sit on your butt and think about it. You need to take action. So make a list of what are the actions you're going to take that'll move you towards, let's just back up here a bit, move you towards the vision that you have for yourself, right? What is it you want to do, be, and have? And then what are the things you're going to do that are going to get you there so that you can have your most amazing 2022, standing there looking at it as if it's already done today, thinking about it today as if it's already done right now today. I got a magic button. I got a pause button. I'm going to give that to everybody that's watching. Push the pause button, and everybody in your life will pause. And if they're walking, they'll be in a stop, pause, play. They're all safe. Nobody's harmed. They're just temporarily paused. And you can go and look back through 2021. What did you do? And what do you want to change? And then go into 2022 and wander around there. What did you do? Who did you meet? What places did you get to go to? What books did you read? What courses did you take? What podcasts did you watch? What podcast did you create? Whatever it is you want to do, absolutely tie this into your ideal life story. And then once you're done, push the pause button so you release everybody and everything goes back to normal so that you can then move into living your dreams. Because if you don't believe in your dreams, who else will? So in this image here, it says, believe your dreams as they were given to you for a reason. Just want to share that insight with you guys today as we're starting to wind down 2021. And remember, the you in wonderful is representing you. You are wonderful and you are unique. So go out there and act like it. If you like this show and know somebody that would has a message and you would like to help them get it out there, certainly have them reach out to me, or you reach out to me and do an introduction. It's phil@coachphil.ca. phil@coachphil.ca. Have a wonderful day.
I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking